Welcome to BFM Uncensored. Buku Jingga has been used as the main point of reference for Pakatan in regards to its economic policies. You see it in the Dewan, everyone always talks about Buku Jingga. Now, as an economist, sir, do you think it's valid to make a budget that emphasizes a lot on anti-corruption? Because basically what has been brought forward by Pakatan is that, well, since we'll be solving corruption, then we'll get, a lot of money and it will be fueled into other areas and will solve everything.
The issue is just like we talk about water. It's called the leakages. Yeah. The study shows that the leakages with regard to the expenditure by Malaysian government was in fact quite high. Then there are certain reports. I think Mr. Barry did a report that it goes as high over 30 to 60 billion. This is the figure. I'm not sure the figure is totally correct. That's why my error rate is very high, 32. Second, of course, when you plan, you have to take that into assumption. The assumption is if we can reduce corruption, cover the leakages, then we have more resources to do it. What I've done in Selangor, I have shown that by tendering, open tender, the infrastructure cost by the same work to be done now being reduced to over 35%. So if I have to build something at 100 million, I can now say I can build it up for 70 million. So that's what they call the savings. And last year, I launched what they call a Selangor program. This is a budget above the state budget. I have 1.6 billion for the state budget. But I said, because I collected certain payment, this time there is no into the pocket, but goes straight to the state of Selangor, and also making sure that the assets are well managed, I am giving another 300 million as a grant for the use of people in Selangor. So, on that assumption, on that fact, that I think there is, we can say, we can do certain, we can stretch the dollar more. So the argument that if you have a so-called corrupt-free government, I think corrupt-free is an idealism, but we have the efficient and if I run a free government, then the chances are you can give more to the rakyat. So that's the argument. But Buku Jingga tells us that. So if you want more welfare, if you want more money to be translated to people, let's fight these leakages. So we cover the leakages and then pass it back to the people.
But is Buku Jingga itself a viable economic model? Because it's filled with more.
Okay.
If I would say my opinion, is that it's
the argument of all this, that means you and I may be reading the same economic books. Mm-hmm. The argument by this, you can only distribute if there is growth. You cannot distribute, there is no growth. Mm-hmm. So the pie cannot be cut. If you cut the same pie, whether it is 9 pieces or 190 pieces, the amount is the same. It's only on growth. So the assumption of Buku Jingga is to work for growth. And then, upon growing, then come the distribution.
Question though, are you speaking as an economist or as a politician?
That about that is the economist, of course. But as a politician, then you have to give faith. Politics is giving faith, expectation. If you don't have the expectation, then you have something to work for. But a sensible politician, many others may not be sensible, but let's say a sensible politician will mean he must base with certain fundamental. The basic underlying feature, I did say to a few of my friends who part of Buku Jingga, I said, if I have a chance, there are part of the things that I would have changed it to be more effective in the implementation. But say what it must, the Buku Jingga is a spirit of giving more to the people. That's more important than what is written. Economists, by any chance or imagination, can never predict well. That's by any chance. And in fact, if they are correct, then they will not be called economists at all. They are by any chance.
All right. Certain bloggers, now we're going to go into a little bit of dangerous territory here.
Yeah.
Certain bloggers have come after you about the issue of open tenders and Tan Sri Lim Kim Hong, which you have answered. Do you think there is a specific agenda behind this?
No, I think it's good for people now to look at everybody now. I welcome. I'm in glass houses. You can throw stones at me, but I don't have a chance to throw stone at them. But that's the unfortunate fact. But I think it's good. I think it's good. We believe in transparency. Then we believe in accountability. I think there are some is a little bit with maybe a wrong intention. I think I regard politics is also a game. It is not just a mission, it's a game. So I think there are some ethics to be done as a corporate man, I think, and a businessman. I think there are certain ethics that we follow. We shook hands more than signing a contract because we accept
that
responsibility. But here, I find the game is that there is no referee, no limits, and I thought I am playing football, but in fact people are playing rugby or hockey. So that is this. So I think it is very volatile.
All right. Do you think you're playing the game well?
No, I love to play a type of game like golf and all that. I know where I'm going, but I think the reason why I like to survive is that there is certain reform agenda. Personally, I want to do, especially making sure the taxpayers' money are being really utilized in the proper manner. So I have my own what they call reform agenda, which I think if I have a chance, I should continue to do it, because the reason for this is, personally, I'm blessed by certain level of success. So I do not really need to say I must be successful. I should be content with success.
All right, this is the final question. I think this is the only question you'll probably enjoy. Can you give us some details of the cleaning up that you had to do when you came into your position? Because basically, you changed the total state revenue from 700 million to 1 billion in the course of these 4 years. Did you? Because there have been many allegations of corruption on the side of Barisan Nasional from Pakatan. So did you actually encounter any sort of, bad business that you had to clean up? What actually happened? Can you give us details, descriptions?
There's a lot of bad business. I think that's fortunate for me because I can do better. Yeah, I'm glad it was bad. If not, I didn't. That's a good thing. That means if I'm in the corporate sector, I'll get a lot of bonus. Yeah, if your company is no good, then you come and reform it, you're better. So this is the situation. I think there's a lot of asset in the state not fully valued. So I instituted a scheme where asset should only be discussed on the gross development value, not on just land value, on the gross, because you develop it, then you have the value. Second, I collected about 390 million out of a corporation who simply ignore paying what they are supposed to do because they thought we were like before. We can close one eyes or they close both of our eyes. But unfortunately, they cannot afford to close both my eyes.
Would you willing to disclose who they are?
Yeah, the Talam Group. And then now they are paid. And they are paid, they can do business.
So the Talam Group before this operated on the basis of we don't have to pay?
Yeah, we have to pay because he says I have what they call make certain payment to get this. Okay, my answer is very carefully, but I said, if you list down all those who have made the payment, then I can deduct from the debt that you have. That's very easy. But provided you assure me this, then I will go and charge these people.
So what other instances of corruption did you encounter?
No, there is people who wanted you to approve the so-called plan and all that, and then by saying, if you do this, I will help my party, I'll help the people on the party, then that's it. No, you can help my party, but I'm not going to approve this. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, you can see the biggest difference. Before 2008, there will be at least 20 people waiting outside the office of Menteri Besar to get the signature because he got the magic pen, setuju. But now, unfortunately or fortunately, very few people, because they didn't get the reward just by my signing. They got the reward for doing things correctly. So I'm happy with that.
Well, thank you very much, Tan Sri, for spending time with us.